We're delighted to be working again this year with the HeadOn Photo Festival Portrait Award. The HeadOn Foundation is based in Sydney, Australia, and is an organisation dedicated to promoting the work of photographers at all stages of their career, encouraging excellence and innovation, making photography accessible to all, and raising awareness of important issues through photography. Our composers here at the Royal College of Music have engaged with the very striking photographs from this year's Portrait Award and have composed new works for solos, duos or trios, which are a response to these images and the stories that lie behind them. Everything you hear this evening has been composed especially for this concert and is being heard for the first time. Still visual image and music that moves only as sound in time and which vanishes when it is over are of course almost irreconcilable opposites. But it's this opposite, it's this contradiction and the sometimes very challenging nature of these images that makes this such a creative task for a young composer. And some of the composers you're going to be hearing today are very young indeed, in the first year of their undergraduate studies at the Royal College of Music. The RCM sends huge thanks to the HeadOn Foundation, their festival director Moshe Rosenzweig, and their artists for their support and their permission to use these thrilling images in this project and in tonight's concert. Thanks too to Emma Diss, faculties officer who has managed this project throughout here at the RCM and made everything happen.
Hi, my name is James Madrilejo. The photo that I picked is called Mina by Mirjam Stenevik. It's this photo of a girl lying on a couch and she's playing a game called Guess Who. And I was drawn to this picture because I remember playing a lot of Guess Who when I was younger, about her age, while I was waiting for my parents to pick me up from school. And yeah, I sort of reflected that compositionally by mirroring the loss of interest that I personally found playing that game. So it starts out very, oh, this is interesting, and then peters out towards the end because it's difficult to keep playing that game for a while. And then also through sort of irregular timing and the irregular perception of time that I think a lot of kids have, where, something's flying by and then suddenly dragging for no reason.
Hello, my name is Gwydion Rhys. I'm in my first year as an undergraduate studying composition at the Royal College of Music. The photograph I chose was called Alan and Anne and was photographed by Benjamin Brink. There were some elements in the photograph, including a touching simplicity due to the fact that it's in black and white, as well as a bittersweet sense of pain and resignation, as well as a searching quality that I've tried to reflect in my music, which, although it seems to reach a kind of destination at the end, always seems to be searching for something else throughout its course. And all I can really say is I hope you enjoy the music.
Hi, my name is Levent and I'm a second-year postgraduate student in composition for screen. My piece is called Ruins, and it's based on a photograph called Jenni Bruce at her burnt home in Upper Brogo, New South Wales, January 2020. And the photographer is Gideon Mendel. And actually, a lot of my concert music, I'm inspired by the destructive power of nature. So it makes sense that I was drawn to this picture specifically because that aspect's very much in there. Nature doesn't distinguish between good or bad or right or wrong. And my music is really a reflection of that rather than the depiction of human emotion, which might have been the more obvious thing to do. So there's no sense of dread or grief in the music. It's more about hard facts, really.
I'm Jack Campbell, and I'm a fourth-year undergraduate composer and pianist. I've worked with a photograph called My Hands on Dad by the British photographer Lauren Forster. I was attracted to this image because of how courageous and how personal it is. It is a photograph of Lauren's father after her mother passed away. My work is not an attempt to depict the photograph directly in the music, but rather it's a response to themes that the photograph brings up for me. I was inspired by the themes of loss, of loneliness, and of aging. It might seem strange for me to talk of aging, for I am young, but it had a strange and uncanny resonance for me, for I will grow old too. I was also struck by the colour scheme in the photograph and how ambivalent it is. The darkness contrasts with that bright pink jumper, which is almost cheerful, and the look on Lauren's father's face is inscrutable. I was therefore thinking of this ambiguity as I was composing. Who can turn back and begin again? Perhaps some people can.
Hi everyone, my name's Ethan Lieber. I'm a first year composition student. I chose to write for Todd Anthony Omani Sandi's photo, Flying Stars Amputee Footballers of Sierra Leone. Out of the selection of photos we were given, this one chose me. I was attracted to the extremely dramatic setting of the defiant amputee standing in the middle of a fiery background. When responding to the image, I'd imagined the tragedies of war. The violin glissandes represents war sirens and the panic that one goes through when hearing this noise. I then go on to write short motivic melodies to represent the harsh journeys this man has gone through. The piece ending with the siren can either symbolise that the chaos has ended and people can now appreciate the fragility of life, or that during the chaos there are lots of casualties and some never recover from such losses.
Hi, my name is Touko Niemi. I'm a second year postgraduate composition student. And my piece, You Can Rest for guitar, is inspired by Mika Douglas's portrait Trust. Out of all the photos we got to choose from, I really enjoyed the sort of calm and restful feeling that Mika's portrait gave me. And in art in general, I sort of have a soft spot for calm and restful and meditative things. So musically, I basically just try to evoke the same sort of feelings that Mika's portrait gave me. The piece opens with like a lullaby-like material, and which then develops into like more free-flowing, dreamy-like material. I hope you all enjoy.
Hello everyone, my name is Ben Araújo. I am a BMuse first year composer, and my piece for this festival takes inspiration from the image Nun Girl from the Couteau series by photographer Andrea Alcalay. And what attracted me most about this image was that the main subject of it, which is a young girl, her face couldn't be seen clearly because there were various patches of gold covering her face, and it can only be partially be seen. And I thought I wanted to write a composition based on that. And so what I did for the basis of it is I wrote a melodic line which always tries to continue going, but always gets interrupted by various external stimuli. For example, loud high bursts in the uppermost range of the piano, several sections of the melody being repeated, certain notes being held for long periods of time, and various silences in between different sections of the melody. And so just like the girl's face in the photograph is covered by the gold patches, the melodic line in my piece is obscured by all the interruptions happening around it, which is why I decided to title my piece A Face Obscured by Gold.
I'm Nok Him, and I'm a Year 1 Bachelor Composition student at the college. The photograph I've chosen is taken by Alberto Zani, named Exit Attack Survivor. The reason that this photo grabbed my attention is because the man in the photo looks absolutely shocking, nearly like a movie costume, and seems even more eerie in front of an all-white background. The man in the photo was attacked by Exit during a robbery, which caused permanent destruction of his skin. In my piece, Exit for Violin Solo, I've tried to express this kind of pain on the violin. Not only the severe pain during the moment of the attack, but also the permanent irritates to the skin. The exit also destroyed the look of the man, which is undoubtedly uncomfortable for the victim. In my piece, I also required the violinist to use his or her voice to express kind of permanent torture, which I can imagine the victim mourning out of pain.
Rob Howe is a fourth-year undergraduate composer, and for this concert he took inspiration from Mika Douglas's photograph Trust. He composed the work for alto and tenor saxophone. Rob says he picked this image because it was particularly thought-provoking and because he liked the colours and the lighting. In his piece, titled Mounted, he has represented the horse with a running but slightly broken semiquaver, and the boy with a melody, and together these lines are interwoven and overlap with one another.
Hello everyone, my name is Mirjam and I'm a first year in Bachelor of Composition. For this HeadOn Photo Festival, I've chosen the photo named Halima, taken by Marko Kovic. So my first impression of the photo was that Halima was staring straight into the camera lens, and I also noticed her background as well. The background was something that I didn't have from where I was brought up, so I think I was naturally drawn in by it. As I went on with this photo, I found out on Google that Halima had a very tragic story behind her. It was said that Halima witnessed her parents killed in front of her eyes by a group of armed men in Nigeria. They also abducted her after that and forced her to become a suicide bomber. However, after that, one of the abductors took pity and released her. Through music, I want to tell the story of Halima and how she got away from the abductors, as well as giving awareness to people about the lives that are still suffering, like Halima out there. And I found satisfying working on this project, so I hope that you also enjoy it as I do.
Hi, my name is Carl Gould, and I'm in my first year of the Bachelor of Music Composition program. The photo I chose to write for was Benjamin Brink's photo, Alan and Anne. What drew me to this photo at first was this sort of balance of this couple together. When I started to look at the photo more, I started to consider the poverty within the scenery and in their lives that's kind of torn at them. So in writing the piece, I tried to create these two people and sort of create the memories that they've had together and also what they've had to persevere through. Thank you.
My name's Lieber and I'm a first-year composition for screen student. I chose this photo because it depicts this child wearing this bright green frog costume, but also with this quite large nosebleed. So I thought this was fascinating because there's a dichotomy between the whimsicality and tenderness of being a child and also a lot of the painful moments that occur when you're a child. So I wanted to capture that in this piece by having quite soft, tender moments, exuberant moments, and then also moments that are quite violent and dissonant.
Hi, I'm Finn Mattingly. I'm a first-year undergraduate composer at the RCM. For this festival, I've written a piece for solo guitar based on the portrait Mordecai and Aria, an elderly gay couple's story of love and loss by Oded Wagenstein. This portrait features a man sitting in a yellow sweater, having his hair combed by a hand that emerges from off-camera. But what it prompted me to write for this photo in particular was the inherent symmetry, especially in the background with the floral pattern reflected on the wallpaper, as well as the color scheme, which, although it contains yellows throughout, is really unified by the deep yellow of the subject's sweater. Both of these aspects inspired the structure of the piece, most notably through the recurring chordal pattern that kind of acts as a pinpoint for the harmony of the piece, much as the yellow sweater acts as a unifying aspect of the portrait. Harmonically and motivically, I wanted to capture the kind of complex perspective of the subject towards growing into old age, in that, much as the title of the portrait suggests, he experiences both grief and contentment.
My name is Louis Enright and I'm an undergraduate Year 2 composer. I have chosen to write my piece Shifting for an alto and tenor saxophone, and it's based on the picture An Uncertain Future by Stephen Iliffe. The reason I chose this picture was because it depicts a boy and a girl looking out of a car window with the reflection of houses on the window. And to me, it depicts that there's some sort of change in their life starting to happen. And in the music, I've represented this by many devices shifting away from each other in between the two saxophones. And gradually as the piece progresses, they get back together. And what I want to say with this is there may be changes in your life that may seem really violent at first, and you might need to get used to it. But once you do get used to them, the outcome can be very unpredictable and sometimes even rewarding.
My name is Molly Arnock, and I'm a first-year undergraduate composer. My piece, Near and Far for solo violin, is based upon Aline Smithson's photograph, Amanda and Mohamed, from Undercover. Although a small detail, what immediately drew me to the photograph was the perspective of the drawings on the paper bags. They're composite. Some features are front-facing and some are in profile. So with this piece, I explored the possibility of seeing something from two perspectives musically. You'll hear in the first movement that I pivot from bar to bar with a common note, often reharmonized to sound different contextually. In the second movement, I approach the theme by varying a constantly recurring simple melody. Near and Far is in two movements, each one representing one of the opposing forces which create tension in the photograph. The first one represents distance in a relationship, and the second represents nearness, or intimacy. I suppose it should be called Far and Near, but that didn't sound as good. In the photograph, the people are stiff despite their embrace, and separated by paper bags painted with eyes gazing at each other. It creates a sense of ambiguity that emotionally charges the image, and I hope my piece.
My name is John Griffith, and I am a first-year master's student in composition at the Royal College of Music. I composed a response to Susan Papazian's photograph entitled Cyril, which depicts an elderly man sitting on the edge of his bed. The morning light catches his face and casts his shadow on the wall behind him. On the wall perpendicular, there are two works of art that depict shadowy figures dancing, with one of the frames slightly askew. These figures provide a muted sense of life and conviviality in an otherwise gray and isolated space. To me, it appears that Cyril is caught in the liminal state between sleep and wakefulness, where dreams fade away and life takes its shape again. The ambiguous expression on his face invites us to ponder what might be on his mind. I was struck by what I interpreted to be the profound loneliness in this photograph, and also by the contrasts of light and dark. I attempted to depict this contrast in my piece using harmonics in the violin and cello, adding some distortion via overpressure of the bow in the violin to underscore the darkness in this photo.
Hello everyone, my name is Lars Herman Svartlingstorpe and I'm a Clifton Parker Award holder, currently in my first year of undergraduate studies in composition here at the RCM. The picture I chose to base my work around is called Umaru Sandi, The Flying Stars of Sierra Leone by Todd Anthony. The reason I was attracted to this picture was not only its dark and powerful imagery, but also its sense of mystery. Who was the boy in the picture? And what did he have to do with the fire that surrounded him? For a long while I felt certain that my piece would be just as dark and as violent as the picture might seem at a first glance. But as I worked, another story began to emerge through the music. The boy was, in fact, none other than Hephaestus, the Greek god of smithing. And the fire that surrounded him was not the destructive fire of catastrophe, as I'd first thought, but the creative fire of the forge. Hence my piece is called Forging a Hidden Star. And perhaps, if you listen closely, you will be able to hear the strikes of a hammer or the clang of an anvil. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Becker. I'm a joint principal study oboist and composer in my first year of my undergraduate degree here at the Royal College of Music. The photo I have chosen to write about is titled Trust by the Dutch and Canadian fine art photographer Mieke Douglas. This photo I feel is really beautiful in its simplicity and captures an atmosphere that is almost peaceful, but there is a hidden darkness to it. My piece, titled Found for solo guitar, played by my friend Felix Collins, is written as a response to this photograph. The photo shows a boy lying on a horse. I have imagined a narrative when writing this piece, and have split the piece into 3 sections. The first, described as manic, shows the inner workings of the boy's brain. He feels lost and is wondering how to escape his thoughts. The second section, titled Slower, has a given melodic line for the boy and demonstrates a feeling of stability and peace at finding where he fits into the world. I believe the horse symbolises a sense of grounding and is taking the boy who feels distressed to find his own sense of peace. The third section combines material from the 2 previous sections and shows a unity and balance between the mind of the boy and the journey he has taken to be found. This piece is dedicated to my mother Sarah Becker, as she always helps me to find a sense of peace in my own life. Horses have played a huge part in her life from a young age, and I feel this photo shows the beauty of the horse and the relationship between a horse and a human being very special indefinitely.